Picture this. You finally do the responsible thing. You work hard, file your taxes perfectly on time, and honestly report every single dollar you earn. You feel good about it, disciplined, honest, and financially mature. But then one day you open an official notice from the government or look closely at your tax software and realize something deeply strange. You're giving away thousands of dollars to a system that doesn't even know your name, while you keep hearing about billionaires paying zero. Here is what nobody likes to discuss. The Internal Revenue Service is not a single institution that treats everyone equally. It is a multi-tiered corporate machine that fundamentally alters its rules based on how much you make. Think of two different taxpayers living in the exact same city. The first earns a modest $35,000 working an hourly job. The second brings in a smooth $3.5 million through specialized corporate structures. Walk inside the financial life of the first taxpayer, and you will see a landscape of fear. They are terrified of making a single typo on a form, knowing a simple data mismatch could freeze their bank account. Walk inside the life of the second taxpayer, and you will find an entirely different universe, one of calculated opportunity where tax codes are treated like a collaborative menu. This isn't a simple story about who pays more. It is a look at the hidden variable of institutional leverage. At the lower levels, the system operates with automated punishment. At the highest levels, it transforms into a bespoke concierge service. Let's break down exactly how the IRS treats you at every level of income, so you can see exactly where you stand. To understand how this operates, we have to look at the real math behind institutional attention. The IRS does not look at citizens as individuals. It looks at them as data points on an efficiency spreadsheet. If you earn between $20,000 and $60,000 a year, you are positioned squarely at the bottom level, the zone of automated enforcement. Let's look at the cold hard numbers. In a recent fiscal year, the IRS audited lower-income wage earners receiving the Earned Income Tax Credit at a rate 5 times higher than everyone else. Why? Because of a simple mathematical equation: cost of collection versus speed of return. An automated system can flag an error on a W-2 or a missing form, auto-generate a computer notice, and freeze a $3,000 refund in less than a fraction of a second. The cost to the government is virtually $0. The system requires no human investigators, no complex legal battles, and no lengthy court dates. For the agency, this is 100% profit efficiency. You watch a few $1,000s evaporate from your pocket, not because you are a high-level criminal, but because you are mathematically cheap to process. But look at what happens when your income shifts to the middle tier, between $100,000 and $400,000. You enter the indifference gradient. Suddenly, your income is too high for automated, low-hanging fruit algorithms, but your tax return is too clean to justify spending $200 an hour on a human field agent to track you down. The math completely flips. For an IRS agent to manually audit a specialized professional making $250,000, it takes weeks of labor to potentially uncover only a few $1,000s in discrepancies. The government actually loses money running the numbers on you. This creates a bizarre paradox where the middle class is protected by a shield of bureaucratic inefficiency, while the working class faces an automated, algorithmic buzzsaw. The system isn't designed to catch the most tax evasion. It is designed to maximize collection velocity per dollar spent. Once you see the math through the lens of operational efficiency, you realize the tax code isn't a moral framework, it's a corporate workflow. To understand how the system treats people differently, we have to look past the spreadsheets and examine the cold institutional psychology driving these enforcement choices. The IRS is not acting out of malice or moral outrage. It is acting on institutional convenience and data-driven predictability. At the bottom wealth tier, the system leverages a psychological state of absolute compliance through fear. When an individual living paycheck to paycheck receives a computer-generated letter on official government letterhead, the emotional response is immediate panic. The individual does not possess a team of legal experts or a corporate treasury. To them, the agency represents an omnipotent, unyielding force that can freeze their assets or garnish their wages with a single click. Because of this massive power imbalance, the taxpayer's psychology shifts instantly to surrender. They will scramble to pay whatever arbitrary penalty is demanded just to make the terrifying notice disappear. The system intentionally exploits this high-anxiety vulnerability because it guarantees rapid compliance with zero institutional friction. But as income scales toward the inflection level and into the top tiers, the psychological power dynamic completely reverses. High-net-worth individuals and corporate entities view the tax code through an entirely different lens: calculated leverage and strategic indifference. They do not look at an official notice and panic. They pass it directly to their legal counsel and wealth management teams. Their psychological posture is one of detached institutional business. They know that a full human audit requires millions of dollars in resources, endless legal filings, and years of bureaucratic time. The agency's leadership knows this too. Consequently, the psychological behavior of the institution changes from a rigid enforcer to a flexible negotiator. The system recognizes that it is facing an opponent with equal, if not greater, administrative stamina. When a wealth tier can afford to tie up the government in tax court for a decade, the institution's psychological objective shifts from immediate punishment to compromise. They stop demanding compliance and start offering settlements. The deep system truth is that the tax laws do not change as you make more money. Rather, your psychological ability to resist the system changes, which forces the institution to alter how it treats you. Once you look past the institutional theater, you realize the tax code is not a system of rules meant to punish you. It is a structural map of what the government wants you to do with your money. The secret isn't finding a loophole. It's crossing the inflection level so you can unlock the top level's bespoke treatment. To cross this line, you have to transition from a single source of earned income to an asset-based corporate framework. When you operate purely as an individual employee, reporting a standard salary, you are completely visible to the automated enforcement engine. You have zero leverage because your income is tied directly to your physical labor. But look at what happens when you establish a formal corporate entity or shift your capital into assets like real estate or equity. The system stops viewing you as an extraction target and starts treating you as an economic partner. The government wants citizens to provide housing, build businesses, and invest in infrastructure. Because the state cannot do this efficiently on its own, it writes rules into the tax code to incentivize you to do it for them. When you purchase an investment property or build an enterprise, every dollar you spend building that asset is treated as a business deduction. You are no longer taxed on what you earn. You are taxed on what is left over after you invest back into the economy. This is the system truth. The tax code is 95% incentives and only 5% rules. The wealthy do not pay less because they are hiding their money in secret offshore accounts. They pay less because they have structured their lives to mirror exactly what the IRS wants. They have shifted their wealth from the bottom-level punishment tier into the strategic partnership tier. To change how the system treats you, you cannot simply demand a higher salary within the old framework. You must deliberately alter your financial structure so the machine's efficiency algorithms work for you instead of against you. If I only showed you the advantages of moving into an asset-based corporate framework, I would be doing what every biased financial guru on the internet does. I would be lying to you. Transitioning from a passive wage earner to an active asset allocator sounds incredibly clean on paper, but the reality is messy, stressful, and demanding. The moment you cross that inflection level, your relationship with risk undergoes a violent transformation. As an employee, your financial risk is relatively contained. You sell your hours, you get a predictable paycheck, and your employer handles the systemic liabilities. But when you step into the world of corporate structures and real estate investments, you are stepping directly into the line of fire. If a business asset fails, you don't just lose your 9-to-5 income. You can lose your initial capital, destroy your credit rating, and find yourself personally liable for debts you can't pay. Managing corporate tax structures requires an immense amount of ongoing administrative discipline. You cannot simply ignore your finances until April. You must actively track cash flow every single week, Hire reputable certified public accountants and strictly maintain clear legal boundaries between your personal life and your business entities. If you make a mistake here, the IRS will not view it as a simple software mismatch. They will interpret it as deliberate corporate tax evasion, and the penalties will be far harsher than anything faced at the automated bottom tier. The honest truth is that the bespoke treatment at the top levels isn't handed out as a free reward. It is a highly calculated trade-off. The government grants you massive tax deductions only because you are willing to absorb the immense operational anxiety, market volatility, and legal responsibilities that come with managing capital. If you do not have the psychological stamina to handle market downturns, tenant disputes, or fluctuating revenues, trying to force your way into this tier will break you financially. Before you try to replicate the tax strategies of the ultra-wealthy, you must ask yourself a very serious question. Are you actually prepared to shoulder the structural weight required to earn those privileges? When you look back at everything we've broken down, you realize the ultimate truth about the tax code. The Internal Revenue System is not a machine built to oppress you, nor is it a random collection of bureaucratic hurdles. It is a structural mirror of your current relationship with capital. If you look into that mirror and see yourself constantly stressed by automated notices, vulnerable to minor filing errors, and watching thousands of dollars quietly evaporate every April, it isn't because the system is uniquely malicious toward you. It is because you are still playing the game at the lowest structural level, relying entirely on an individual, single source of earned income. You are treating the tax code like a set of rigid penalties to be feared, rather than what it actually is, a highly detailed, open-source playbook of financial incentives. The path forward requires you to fundamentally shift how you show up on the data spreadsheet. You do not need to wait until you are a multimillionaire to start utilizing these frameworks. The practical pathway begins the exact moment you decide to transition from a passive wage consumer to an active asset allocator. By establishing a dedicated corporate structure, acquiring cash flow in real estate, or building equity, you are aligning your personal financial goals directly with what the government's infrastructure wants to reward. You stop fighting the automated system and start letting its algorithms clear the path for your wealth. The choice isn't between paying taxes or breaking the law. The choice is about deciding which version of the institution you want to interact with. Do you want to deal with the automated machine that processes compliance through fear, or do you want to step up to the collaborative tier that rewards corporate growth and strategic investment? If you are ready to stop being an extraction target, to finally break out of the indifference gradient, and to structurally re-engineer how your money is treated, you need a precise blueprint. Click the link in the description below to download our structural wealth map and start shifting your income tier today. At this point, you have seen the entire blueprint laid bare. You understand how the Internal Revenue Service calculates its enforcement, how it shifts its behavioral psychology based on your bracket, and how the tax code is fundamentally built as an incentive roadmap rather than a collection of punishments. So now, everything comes down to one single, defining question. Are you going to continue playing the game as an isolated data point at the bottom tier, or are you ready to structure your life like an institutional partner? If you choose to stay where you are, you already know exactly what the future looks like. You will continue to exchange your limited hours for standard wages, watch a massive percentage of your earnings get pulled away before it ever hits your bank account, and live with the constant, underlying anxiety of automated compliance. You will remain trapped in the indifference gradient, completely visible to the algorithm, and completely detached from the rules that the wealthy use to scale their freedom. But if you are ready to change how the machine treats you, the path is already written. By shifting your income into corporate frameworks and hard assets, you completely alter your position on the efficiency spreadsheet. You don't have to wait until you are a millionaire to start this transition. You just have to change the rules of the game you are playing. If you are ready to take that step, stop leaving your financial trajectory up to a corporate workflow that doesn't care about your name. Click the link right now in the description below Download our precise structural wealth map and take the first practical step toward changing your income tier today.